beautiful evening here. A lot of oak trees around here. Back to the Mississippi. Okay, is it finding the self or losing the self? Which one is the actual quest? What's the process? I think it's about losing the self actually in this world. And then maybe not so much finding, but cultivating. So, what are some ideas, processes, philosophies, general think that can put some language to feelings and meanings for that? Usually when you are in dynamics, relation to people, family, society, culture, all those things, to lose yourself is to lose your mind a bit. People are nervous about that. What are you going to do, when you quit your job, get divorced, move to the desert or wherever? Or what's going to happen when you take ayahuasca? Or you enlist in the military, or you take the rails and you go out to California. A lot of people, they see that as a threat to themselves, because oftentimes we're trying to find ourselves, and it's in these dynamics, these relations, that we are able to find the materials, the backdrop, in order to do that. It's beautiful. And I went through those as well. I thought about that. I went through that actually. But when you go through those things, you got to go through them within first. when you've settled it within, other people have no choice but to accept it. Situations fade as awareness grows. This is a real cool looking tree. I think it's a gold oak. I'm not sure. I'll have to come back in the fall maybe. So the systems, the forms we find ourselves in, they reinforce us, they strengthen us, they give us meaning, and they help us find the form that we're trying to find safety in, cultivate comfort, convenience, predictability in, because the world is kind of unpredictable. Fear is a big motivator for people. Bad management, guilt and fear, you know. So losing the self, that to me is the key in these times. And then maybe for a few years you're trying to find yourself, and then you realize you can't find it, and then you got to start creating it, cultivating it. And a lot of times in life when you go through this phase, you're over the hill, so to speak, unless you're blessed to go through it younger. And because everyone invests all their energy into the role that they're playing, they don't feel like they've got the skills or abilities because they've lost touch with the child energy, the student mind, the mind that allows you to grow. You know, you don't quit till you die, basically. But the world, it yells at us, it tells us otherwise. And we believe it because we found safety in the knowledge that there are consensus reality agreements. There are established truths based on research and intellectuals who create ideas. Most times they create these ideas in order to give themselves a position, a role, a perspective that is unique to themselves. And they get co-sponsored and they get grants and all these things, and it becomes canon. But that's just a limitation of people when too many people believe in the same thing. We limit ourselves. So finding the self, cultivating the self, losing the self, these are just phasal expressions of life. If you've found yourself and you don't feel authentic, then that's the cue to try and release. If you've released and you don't know what to do, you don't know where to go, then that's the cue to find what it is that enriches you, gives you that fire, that spark. Then in the process of finding, seeking, you begin to realize it's all within you, and you find these things that feed your spirit so that you begin to cultivate And when you're cultivating, when you're in that creative energy, that's when you're tuning in to the inner child, the creative fire within you. If anything, in these times, we can see that it's okay to be who you are. I mean, if people can't handle it, that's their problem. So when you seek to cultivate the self, find the self, forget the self, and you hear the resistance, feel the resistance from other people, that means you're swimming. That means you're doing the right thing. Because if you didn't hear any of that, mean nothing's changing. That's just the sound of the footsteps, basically. It's the feeling of each step. The human mind is powerful, but the spirit that's the actual fuel. And to get the spirit, you got to release, seek, and cultivate. Because that's the ego path. That's how we get the mind in union with the heart. I believe in these times anyway. Especially if you're in a society. It's a beautiful day. Got up to 80 today. This is a nice older neighborhood. More quiet. The trees are bigger. It's more old, established growth. This tree must have been pink earlier. The weird thing is I don't see any squirrels around here. It's kind of freaking me out a little bit. What the hell's going on with all the squirrels? See, that's the mind that pulls us into these weird things, you know, and then we get caught up in looking for patterns and all this stuff. It's the tragic comedy of the wandering self. So if you can also laugh at yourself and laugh at situations and things like that, that helps to feed the spirit. Childlike energy, you know. It's a Leo thing, I guess. Try and have fun cultivating the self. That keeps you in the student mind. Alright, well, I think that's all I have to say. So thanks for watching, listening, and being.